G'day, it's Lindsay Waddington here for another episode of Being on the Couch or the Piano still. But today we've got one of my greatest friends, and he's just one of the most beautiful people. I haven't met anybody that doesn't like this man in music, and that's rare. Mr. Dougie Gallacher. How you going, Doug?
Go, mate.
It's good to have you here, mate.
Everybody.
You spent years on the Midday Show, so for me growing up, you watched the Midday Show, and you find out later on that we'd be working in a studio together. It's quite amazing. Like, you were the resident drummer for how many years?
About up to about 30 years. Yeah.
That is incredible. The artists you would have seen come through that place?
Yeah, all sorts of artists, like from magicians, singers, acrobats, dancers, everything.
Who would have been, I know it's hard putting you on the spot, who would have been some of your favourite people, not even for talent, but anything, just for what they do, great people to work with? Who would have been, say, maybe, two or three of the greats that you'd like, if I could snap my fingers, I'd go and work with them again tomorrow?
One of my favourite lady singers is Julie Anthony, and she was a regular on the show. So I toured with Julie as well as doing the TV shows with her. She's a great singer, great lady, sings in tune, which is a really good thing to have. Yeah. Her version of the national anthem has been played more than anyone else's. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, once again, for years, and I mean years and years and years, any big event, she was doing the national anthem, wasn't she?
Well, now that she no longer sings, but the backing track that they have for her, which was done by the Sydney Symphony Orchestra, is still the one that gets used, her backing track. So yeah.
So who would be another one then?
Ricky May, my Maori mate, he was one of my favourites on the show, as well as working live. Trish Yearwood.
Yeah.
She stands out. She came into Australia just to do a promotional tour. She wasn't here to do a concert tour, but she did about 3 shows on TV, and luckily we had her on the Midday Show, and that was a real delight.
Yeah, to say you've played for these sort of people would be just incredible.
Yeah, a lot of people say, oh, you played with everyone. Well, I played with a lot of people, but because the Midday Show had live music every day, 5 days a week, you get to play for a lot of people. But the truth is, 1 or 2 songs with some of those famous people, but that'll do.
Oh, you've still done it. It's amazing. Yeah. And there would have been a fair bit of pressure, or no, it just become part of your job?
Not in those days. It wasn't really pressure, because the band that was on the TV, we could all read music really well, and everyone had a good grounding in all sorts of music, jazz, rock, country, the whole thing.
Just had to worry about yourself, and it all come together.
Yep.
Now, just another thing, like, because I like mucking around, a bit of humour, eh? Playing trick. Jeff Harvey, mate. What was he like to work with?
The best TV musical director I've ever worked with.
Oh, that says a lot. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And a great guy, an absolutely great guy. Very honest and true to his musos. He'd always stand up for you.
Yeah.
Over those years, sometimes an artist would come on with a certain ego issues, and it didn't go far with Jeff.
Yeah. He looks like a real larrikin, like a real Aussie bloke.
Yeah.
So that's it.
And he didn't drink as much as his legend would have you think, but it was TV.
Part of it.
TV. Yeah.
Now, you would have been on other TV shows and that too, Doug, or mainly the Midday Show, because that would have taken a lot of your time up.
Midday Show is the main one, but I did a show at Channel 10 with Don Lane. That was a David Letterman style show. That was good. Same thing, we backed a lot of acts on that. One of the ones that I always think about was Glenn Fry. He came on the show mainly to talk up a movie called Jerry Maguire, which he had a role in as an actor. So he was in Australia to talk the movie up.
Yeah. And
we were just rehearsing in the afternoon when he arrived, and he heard us just running some play-ons and play-offs, and wandered over and introduced himself and said, could he sing with the band? Would that be okay? So, so he did Desperado.
Wow. Yeah. No, that's incredible. Like, you look back now, and some of these legends like that, they're not around anymore. So it's not so one day I'll grow up and do that. And so it's got to be a pinch yourself. I sort of have done that.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, there's really no live in Australia. There's no live TV for artists like that to go on anymore with a live band.
Yeah.
Which means that there is, in the TV world, that they don't have the facilities really to, if you wanted in with a 5-6 piece band, even the poor old audio guys or people, they don't have the background knowledge anymore to handle a live band.
Yeah.
Sport, news, current affairs, they're no problem.
Now, did you do any, like, I don't know, like I've got to know you pretty well over the last few years, and I reckon I've seen your face in a few pits too. Did you ever do any Christmas by the, like, carols and that sort of thing in those big shows?
Only for 25 years. Carols in the Domain.
Yeah. How that must have been amazing.
That was great fun, yeah. That was down in Sydney and in the Domain. So that was, we rehearsed the show on the Friday night. We would do a full dress rehearsal with all the artists, as if it was...
In real time?
In real time, as if it was live to wear. So we had to wear the, the TV clothes and all that. And then they'd record that in case it rained on the Saturday night.
Oh.
So if it rained on Saturday night, they'd have something to play to air. Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Now that would have been orchestrated as well as a band, wouldn't it? Like that was pretty big time.
Oh, that was a 80, 90 piece orchestra.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible, Doug. That you would have had to have seen a hell of a lot of great artists come through on that too over the
Yeah, it
years.
was good. Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
that's incredible.
Yeah.
Now, with everything, Doug, it's great to see you still out there playing. Like people around the world watching this may not know, one of our greatest drummers ever, and still are. Any other instruments, or just drums?
Mandolin.
Yeah.
I bought a mando because I was introduced to the music of Iris Dement by Anne Kirkpatrick,
Okay.
Slim's daughter.
Yeah.
And there was a song that Iris did called Let the Mystery Be, and I absolutely loved it.
Oh yeah, me too.
And because it's a Mando song.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So I bought a Mando so I could play that song.
How good is that?
That's the only reason.
What actually, or who actually got you into playing drums, and why the drums? Like, did you want to be a drummer?
No, not at all. I didn't know what I wanted to be at school. I was about 16, maybe 17, something. I had some friends who played in the pipe band in Dubbo, the Dubbo and District pipe band, and they said, "Oh, you should come in. You know, we need a drummer." And they didn't mean the side drum, the rat-a-tat-tat drum. They meant the tenor drum, which was played with mallets, and they spin them around like that and hit a drum.
Wow.
That's called a tenor drum. And when I got to the first night, I went along. They said, "Oh no, we don't want any tenor drummers anymore. We want the blokes to play the side drum." And I went, "Okay, I'll play that one then."
Started doing that.
So that's what I did. Learned to play in the pipe band. Yeah. Which great. I had a great drum teacher. Luckily,
all the rudiments and all that.
Yeah, all that, and got my rudiments together.
And reading, I suppose.
Had to read just snare drum music though, which is still music.
Yeah.
Crotchets and quavers and all that. And then my dad, my mum and dad were divorced, so Dad lived in Sydney, and he heard about me joining the pipe band, and he was born in Glasgow, so he was pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
And he thought I wanted to be a drummer. So all of a sudden, a drum kit arrives.
Can you remember what brand?
In a truck. No, I didn't have a brand.
Oh, no.
Big orange kit.
Oh, yeah. Fell off the back of a truck.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, I didn't want to be a drummer.
Oh, wow.
So I couldn't say, "Dad, this is a stupid idea."
Huh.
So I set him up and started playing them.
Well, everything happens for a reason. Did it come naturally?
Yeah.
So it did?
Well, it did because I could already play the snare
But
drum.
did that come naturally?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well,
I guess it did, yeah.
hand in a glove, meant to be.
Yeah.
Was the mandolin natural?
Well, I had some pretty good teachers.
Yeah.
Like, I was playing with Troy when I bought it.
Yeah.
So Huey Curtis was in the band.
Oh, gee, okay.
Stewie French, Michelle Rose.
yeah, right.
they were all in the band.
Yeah, you might have got a bit of a help there.
I did.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's great.
And Jed Hughes, I was playing with Jed
As
in those days. He knows a bit about the Mando.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah. So I made, good teachers.
Oh, fantastic. Now, getting back to the drumming then, so drumming sounds like it's been your job, it's been your love, it's been your passion, and you've definitely excelled at it. But so going on, so we were talking the other day, which I'm privy to a lot of conversations around sessions and that with you. It just keeps blowing me away. So in Australia here, we've got Happy Little Vegemites, and we've got Louis the Fly ads, and we've got Home and Away. It's an amazing thing. And
Meadow Lee.
Meadow Lee.
Yeah,
And
put on a pipe and hot potato.
yeah, all of these ads now. I heard you play drums on all them.
Yep.
It's incredible.
Come on, Aussie, come on. Feel like a twoies. Oh, thousands.
Wow. And now some of our most iconic songs, like, because we're very blessed to have JW here too, John Williamson as well. And so his famous song, True Blue.
Yeah, played on that.
I thought I heard you talking about that the other day. So you played on that too?
Yeah, well, the first album we did was Mallee Boy.
Yeah.
Down in Sydney at Trafalgar Studios.
Yeah.
I guess that's when I really first met John.
Yeah.
I was just a studio guy.
Yep.
So myself and the bass player, who's Dave Ellis,
Yeah.
we did a lot of work in those days. We did a lot of jingles and records, and we got hired to play on John's album.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's the album that...
Raining on the Rock?
Raining on the Rock, yeah.
Now that's another
iconic
song.
Cootam Under Waddle.
Oh, what a
all that stuff.
beautiful song.
They don't all have drums on them. Every track, I got to own up to that one.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Slim Dusty, spent years working with Slim, all the albums.
Yeah.
So another one, G'day G'day.
Yep.
You played on that?
I did. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
We've Done Us Proud?
Yep. Yeah.
And the list just goes on, Doug.
Yeah.
Well, what about Peter Allen?
I wish I'd played on his records, but I toured with him for about 15 years, I guess.
Really?
Yeah.
That would have high energy shows?
Oh, yeah, very much so. He had, most of the time when Pete would come to Australia, he'd bring at least 4 of his American guys, because he had an American band, and then myself and perhaps a saxophone player or second keyboard would play with him in Australia. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So most of these iconic songs, you must look back on it now. At the time, it would have been just like, it's a job, it's a call out, it's a session. It would have, you obviously put your best into it, but it was your job, so you probably didn't think too much past it. But you must look back on it now and hear these ads still getting played today. All these artist songs, like all these iconic songs are getting played, and you're like, wow, I was actually there on the ground floor doing them.
Yeah.
It must be sort of...
Yeah.
Humbling, but also like, wow, I didn't sort of, it must have just all, how did this happen sort of thing?
Well, I don't think anyone would have ever expected True Blue to become what it's become.
No.
No one would. When we recorded it, it was okay. It was a track amongst 11 or 12
great
others.
tracks.
Yeah. But with John, it was always very obvious that his poetry
stands out about
what stood out. Which his poetry turned into a song.
Yeah, he's such an amazing person. He's just great to have him here. And we've got another great artist here too, and you've had a lot to do with Brian Cadd.
Yep.
Another fantastic songwriter.
Yeah.
Australian.
Yeah. I met Brian back in the day when he had the bootleg label. One of his artists was a girl called Kerry Bedell. She was a jazz singer from Sydney. So I did some concerts for Brian's label, like at the Sydney Opera House, Concert Hall in Melbourne, and to do with the bootleg family. Yeah, so I did a lot of those things with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it's great to be playing with him here again.
Oh, how good is it?
He hasn't stopped writing good songs.
No, it's still in him. So, at the end of the day, Doug, we're not going to ask your age. Like,
yes, you can.
Well,
34.
I love it. But I can tell you, you're not the oldest person we've had here, so it doesn't matter.
Is Chad older than me?
Well, he doesn't look it, but no. But I will say we are blessed to have you here in the studio working. You're a hell of a bloke, and you're a good mate. But you've still got everything there, mate. You're a great drummer, and I can see why you've done all that work and that. And I'm proud to say you're not throwing the towel in. You're still doing sessions and that. And you're still helping artists out with some great playing and that. And
yeah, well, it's especially the country music thing that we all love. You know, and this is why we're here. But it's one of the few genres of music left where there's a big live audience out there just waiting for us to come out in the bush and,
Yeah.
even cities, some of the cities,
Yeah.
like they still want to hear it played live and they still want to hear the records with people playing on them.
Absolutely.
So here we are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, just a couple of quick ones before we go. Where are you from, Dougie?
I'm from Dubbo, New South Wales, Australia.
Yeah. How long were you there before you got out?
I left there when I was 19.
And what music took you out?
1963. No, the Steelworks in Wollongong.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
I was playing a bit of drums in a little good little band in Dubbo. And time up, a few of my mates went to Wollongong and worked in the Steelworks.
Oh,
so I thought I'll pop down there and just sweep the floors or something for a while and then figure out a job. So I did that for a year and then just got sort of mates sort of knew that I was down there and heard about a job going in Sydney on the drum kit. So I ended up with that job at a pub and then just kept going. Stopped sweeping floors in the Steelworks.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. So your mum and dad spent all their time in Dubbo, or they moved too? Or
Yep.
So they stayed in Dubbo. You moved by yourself?
Yep.
Yeah. Never went back? Just kept travelling?
Not to live, no.
No, it hasn't taken you back there to
But I'm
live?
still from Dubbo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I just happen to live somewhere else.
Hey, no, well, I think you always are. Like, I live on the Gold Coast, but I'm always a Crossy boy.
Yeah.
A bit of a scrub tick.
Where's that?
Hey, it's up near. But yeah, no, you can't take the country out of the boy. Never can.
no.
No, it's been fun, and these stories are so good. So we're just going to put the heat on you. So you've already said a couple of people you love working on the Midday Show. In your time, who would be one of the most naturally gifted singers you've ever seen or worked with, or don't have to work with, but you've seen and you're like, if I could sing, that's it right there?
That's a very hard one. As an entertainer and an amazing head for figuring out arrangements, Ricky May.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wrote a song called Australia Bound,
Yeah.
which not many people ever heard, but it's just a fantastic song about the Polynesians
Yeah.
coming to Australia.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. But he's passed on.
Yeah.
But he was the guy that he started out as a drummer.
I didn't know that.
A good one.
Yeah.
And had just everything that he did sort of made it easy being his drummer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everything would have been gated
Well,
properly.
you've met his musical director, Jamie Rigg.
Oh, what
who's
a talent.
Been at the studio.
And a lovely bloke too.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
There's lots and lots of people that I work with that I just admire. Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks, Doug.
Yeah.
Cut. Nice guitar, that. But working with you fellas, like we've got Gussie and Michelle, and people will see their podcast too, the chats and that. For me, mate, I'm living my best life working with you fellas in the studio, and you guys have got it, and I'm really thankful you've brought me into that little world, and it's just nothing like being in the studio recording great music together with great people. Thank you for everything you've done over the years, Dougie, on the drums and everything. But as a person, like I said, I meant it. I haven't met anybody that doesn't like you. So you haven't got an ex-wife, have you? Maybe I should ring. I've got to try and find somebody. No, it's a real credit to you to be in an industry like this, mate. We might have to do another one later because there's still so much we could talk about. You've done so much, but thank you for everything you've done. You've made some amazing music and you've made your imprint in the music world on some of the biggest tracks ever. And you deserve it. You're a hell of a player, mate.
Thank you.
Dougie Gallacher. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Hope you all enjoyed today's episode. For more episodes, you can check out my YouTube channel or the podcast app and follow my social media at Lindsay Waddington Music. See you all down the track somewhere.